very special holiday edition of Jalen Jacoby. He is Jalen Rose. What up, though? I'm David Jacoby. And on the cool check-in. Together, we are Jalen and Jacoby. What is it that we do during the holidays? Give the people what they want. We always say we give the people what they want. Today, we will definitively, literally give the people what they want. Today's a holiday special, and we'll be taking your questions from the audience with holiday themes. And we start with a very special holiday edition of Soft Move or Boss Move. The very first question we have from this special holiday edition of Soft Move or Boss Move comes from Twitter. And one of our fans, T Clizzle, wants to know this. Soft Move or Boss Move, ignoring your family afternoon to watch Chris basketball. Is that a soft move or a boss move? Jalen Anthony Rose.
That one's a loaded question. First off, that name, T Glizzle, indirectly reminded me of my Detroit brother, T Grizzly, who I was randomly out and about and just ran into at a restaurant, and we ended up having a great dinner and getting a chance to catch up. That's number one. Number two, Chris basketball, that's genius. Mm-hmm. Whoever came up with that, that's one of those things that I'm like, I should have came up with that.
Yeah,
that
we're going to be saying Chris basketball
right
every year. We're going to be saying that every year forever.
And for those that haven't been paying attention, I've been working at ESPN since September of 2007. And you know what I've been doing every afternoon since then on Christmas Day? Working, talking about the games that are happening out on the floor. So ignoring family to me is a double boss move, because usually I'm in studio with a crisp suit on, getting paid to watch the games, and you know I'm going to have a fresh cut this year. You know I am.
Ignoring your family on Christmas afternoon for Chris basketball is definitely a boss move, because that's the reason it starts at noon. I'm going to spend from like 8 a.m. until 12 noon with my family, and then y'all can play with the toys that I got you for the rest of the day. Moving on, next, this one comes from Instagram, and this is from Allison, and Allison wants to know, soft move or boss move or super boss move, giving your significant other a gym membership for Christmas. This one is a little bit dangerous, Jalen Rose. Soft move or boss move, gym membership as a present.
Shout out to Al, representing LAPC. Here's the thing. For those that want to give their significant other encouragement, it's not always the best thing to do it through gifts.
No.
And here's what I mean. You want your significant other to cook more? Don't buy pots and pans on Christmas. Don't do that. You want significant other to clean the yard? Don't buy me a rake and a brush. Like, I'm good on that. Don't do that. Not gonna be able to do it. Like that. That's not the theory. If you want me to get in the gym, don't get me a membership at Christmas. You're just highlighting that I'm not in shape. That's something you do on Valentine's Day or something like that.
No. Never, ever, ever buy your significant other a gym membership. It's basically telling your significant out loud, you're telling them you need to work out. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. I know a gym membership is something that everybody has, and they're expensive, and it'd be nice if someone paid for it, but there's a lot of other things you can buy them that doesn't say to them, you need to work out, you don't look good. Moving on. Next, we have another one from Twitter. This is from Rishi. Rishi wants to know, soft move or boss move, reusing wrapping paper for the next year by telling your kids not to tear it up. I'm going soft move on this. I think part of the enjoyment of opening up presents is tearing up the wrapping paper. Because I remember my mom used to do this to me. She's like, ooh, that's nice wrapping paper. Hold on. Just carefully open it up. No. I'm tearing that thing up. Wrapping paper is not to be used twice. It's a one-time only.
See, this is when the economics of Christmas goes awry. And here's what I mean for everybody enjoying this Jalen and Jacoby Christmas special. Sometimes, like you just said, you want to spend money on the expensive wrapping paper, on the expensive tree, on all of the lights, on the tree, in the house, on the house, in the yard, on the trees. And sometimes we lose focus about it should be about who's at the table with their loved ones, number one. And number two, investing those funds into what actually goes under the tree. How about that, Jacoby? So I think this is a soft move because you got to engage your priorities financially in order to make it a win-win. You got to be able to rip the gifts open.
Got to rip the gifts open.
You can't be delicate with it.
Got to rip the gifts open. Next, another one comes from Instagram. This is a good one. Soft move or boss move. Bringing in the new year asleep. I do this every year. Boss move. Every year I'm asleep at New Year. Every year. Every year.
We've been on vacation and been asleep as the clock struck 12. I've been out and about multiple years on New Year's Eve, trying to party hop. Let me give you guys some advice.
What's that?
The place you're at around 10:30, 11, that's the place you're going to be at 11:59 when it's time to say Happy New Year at 12. Trying to hit up too many spots and have too many different drinks at too many different restaurants and house parties and clubs and stuff like that. No, that's not what you do. Either go to one or two spots or do the David Jacoby and be asleep.
Oh, I'll be asleep. That's why the West Coast is so nice. You can watch the ball drop at 9 p.m. in New York and then just go right to bed. I love living in L.A. just for that reason. Moving on, the next one comes from Twitter, and this is from Jamie. And Jamie wants to know, soft move or boss move, asking my barber to get my hairline like Jalen Rose, which was awkward because I'm a 42-year-old white man and she's a 50-year-old Asian woman. Asking your barber to give you the Jalen Rose hairline, soft move or boss move?
That's always a boss move. Like, at some point, there should be a national holiday on the 5th of each month where everybody around the world just get a crisp cut. You know, you should be able to walk into barber shops and you see the multiple pictures that are like lineups. I should be in the center as a number 5. These are things that should happen. I talk to you so much about what profession is underrated in American lore. Tell me, David, what profession do I tell you is underrated in American lore?
I'm not going to allow you to have this discussion. I hate it when you do this. I'm going to talk about educators, first responders, doctors, police, military. Those are the ones that are underappreciated. And you want to say barber. You're going to put barber in front of all those people. I'm not going to allow you to do that. I'm not going to allow you to do that. You know what? It's time for you.
Those are serious jobs you just talk about that educate people, that make our world go forward. But once we're forward and you're in the office with your best outfit on, guess what? You want to look crisp. That's what you want to do. You go to the beauty supply. You go to somebody to cut your hair. You go. This is what we do in society.
Jalen, when we're going to do the holiday special, I did not expect you to make up a new holiday about yourself where everyone around the world gets a crisp hairline like Jalen Rose. You know what? You are something else. On the holiday special, you made up your own holiday. It wasn't even annual. It's every month on the 5th. Jalen, I love you so much. This holiday special couldn't be better. Look at the snow falling. I'm in such a good mood. We'll be back with more holiday special right after. Coming to you live from Pier 17 at the snowy seaport and brought to you by Heineken. Welcome back to the holiday special edition of Jalen and Jacoby. We have a special holiday-themed version of cultural or regional. Let's go. The first question that we have for the special holiday edition of Cultural Regional comes from Instagram, and it is from Marcel Mosley, and they want to know, is Christmas caroling cultural? Jalen Rose, is Christmas caroling cultural?
Marcel trying to get me turned up during the holiday season. This is 1,000% cultural.
Agreed.
No question about it.
Agreed.
I grew up in a neighborhood, first off, where I was like, it's Christmas time. I see people trying to carry trees and trying to have lights on them and trying to put gifts underneath them and on their grind to do whatever they could to take care of themselves and their loved ones. And it's freezing outside. Ain't no way we're about to be walking door to door singing Christmas songs for nobody else's pleasure. Not gonna be able to do it.
Yes, Christmas caroling is definitely cultural. Moving on to the next one. This also comes from Instagram. This is from Leland Wellington. Leland wants to know, leaving out milk and cookies for Santa and carrots for the reindeer, is that cultural or regional? I think everybody does that, right? Doesn't everybody leave out milk and cookies? Doesn't everybody do that?
That's universal, international.
Yes,
That's
yes.
grandfather in the lore of Christmas morning. Now, that's for the milk and cookies. We ain't do the carrots. Did you?
No, we didn't do the carrots either, but we do the carrots now. I think the carrots might be like more, it might be generational. I think the carrots kind of got added to the tradition. But one thing we're gonna do this year is we're gonna make our own cookies. No store-bought cookies for Santa. You gotta make the cookies for Santa. You gotta make them. Moving on, the next one also comes from Will on Instagram, and this question is interesting. Is opening presents before Christmas Day cultural? Jalen, did you get one present or maybe two presents before Christmas Day? Any presents before Christmas in your home?
I did not per se. I work with a couple of fine agencies in CAA and Rock Nation. They sent Molly and I gifts. Kayla Johnson sent some Garrett's popcorn. I was really grateful of that. Ate half of the tub soon as I got it. Didn't share it with anyone. Watched NBA basketball. But for the most part, no. Usually I'm the gift giver. And then I give for people to give gifts to other people. And then I realize I'm not really receiving gifts in return. So I definitely don't really have any to open before Christmas.
Well, you're definitely not getting a gift from me. And I would say that no one really, I don't think this is cultural or regional. This doesn't really happen. I don't think people really open presents before Christmas Day. And if you do, good for you. Moving on. This is from Twitter, from Steve. Elf on the Shelf, cultural or regional? I never did Elf on the Shelf, but now I have kids and I do Elf on the Shelf because you know what? They're scared of that little guy. They're scared of that little elf. Anytime they start acting up, I point right at the elf. I'm like, you see Thomas over there? Thomas is watching y'all. And every night he goes back and reports to Santa. So you better stop screaming and hitting your sister. Is Elf on the Shelf cultural? I like that a lot.
That frame of reference of almost like it's an angel in the room that's always watching for Santa. I like that thought process, but that still make it cultural.
I think it's cultural.
That still make it cultural.
You know what? If you got kids, the Elf on the Shelf works. The Elf on the Shelf works. They're scared of that little guy. They're more scared of that tiny little elf on the shelf than they are of me. And that says something about who I am as a parent. Moving on. This one is from Instagram, and it is an interesting. Cultural regional, house has to be clean before Christmas presents can be opened. I look like Jalen, and growing up, the house had to be spotless before one present can be opened. Jalen Rose, cleaning the house before opening presents, cultural or regional?
A cultural boss move. Here's what that is. So let me get this right. I've been working 40 plus hours to try to make sure that my kids have something underneath the tree. You talked about the Santa elf. We talked about reindeer. We talked about leaving out milk and cookies, leaving out carrots for reindeer. We doing all of this for everybody except the people that bought the presents to put them underneath the tree. And one of the things I ask you to do all of the time, every day, every week, every month, every year, is to clean up after yourself and clean your room. Yep. So we gonna clean up this house before we open up any of these presents. Because like you going to Thanksgiving at a restaurant, I'm not trying to be stuck cleaning up after you just opened up all of your presents.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it is cultural. I never had to clean the house before opening presents, but we definitely, every single year have a big, huge trash bag for all the wrapping paper in the boxes. You got to have that big trash bag on deck when you open up the presents because we can't have ribbons and wrapping paper and boxes all over the house. There's going to be enough mess with all the toys. We don't need that. You got to, this has got to be every house has to have a gigantic trash bag right next on deck
universal.
When they're opening presents. That's universal. Moving on, the next one is from Twitter. Fruit cakes. Cultural or regional? Definitely cultural. Definitely cultural.
Cultural. Cultural.
We had.
Cultural.
I remember
no doubt about it.
My grandma and grandfather used to send us a fruit cake every year. Every single year, it would come in this tin, this like circular tin. We would open it up and like, oh, good, we got fruit cake. We got fruit cake. My mom would cut a slice. We'd be so excited for it. We would have that first bite and be like, what is this? What is this? It was like fruit museum. It was like old fruits frozen in time, covered in sugar, and it tasted awful. We never even finished. I would have one bite. I'd be like, I'm good. I'm good about that. The tin looks good. That thing would still be in the fridge in like March. No one's eating that fruit cake. Fruit cake's cultural. What do you think, Jay?
I just let you cook all the way on that because I can't add anything to that great analysis. You called it nasty. You said it came in the tin. It's 1,000% cultural.
I love this one. This one's from Twitter as well, from Michael. This one I love. I've done this before. Cultural regional, wearing your white sneakers in the snow to clean them. I'm going to say regional because you can only do that in the snow, and I've definitely done this before.
That's no doubt being regional, but it's also lazy. As somebody that used to line up his shoes and clean the shoestrings with a toothbrush and soap, pick and choose which ones could go into the washing machine or not. And by the way, moms did not like opening up the washing machine. There was just a pair of shoes in there. That's like wasting a load in her mind. She used to go off on me about doing that. I am not going in the snow only to clean my shoes. That's just lazy, but it's still regional like you said.
Regional. And the last one we have is a special voicemail. Don't forget, if you call 985-80-JALEN, you can leave us a voicemail, and we'll play it on the show just like this.
Hey, my name is Lavelle from Pennsylvania. My holiday, cultural or regional. My fiance looks like Jacoby. I look like Jalen. She wants to have our dog on our Christmas Christmas card and send it out and do matching holiday attire. Now, I feel like this is heavy cultural, but she tells me that everyone does it. So it's curious to hear you guys' input. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Putting your dog in the holiday picture, wearing matching outfits, and sending out holiday cards. Cultural, regional. Jalen Rose, your thoughts?
This is one of the toughest questions I've been asked all year.
You okay?
All year. I'm
okay?
almost happy that this year is over. This is tough. This right here is complicated. Is my answer for this one.
Complicated.
This is complicated. And shout out to Reg DeLedge. Here's the thing. Dressing up like your significant other is one thing. When you include the dog, for me, that seems like it includes other things that the dog is allowed to do. Like constantly lick you in the face or get kisses from you. Sleep in the bed with you. And be on your Christmas cards. I say it's controversial because being the man of the house, sometimes you gotta make tough decisions. And if your first inkling is that your boys are gonna get that and clown you, I say no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no to that. You know what? I don't read your Christmas cards. I barely look at your Christmas cards. I don't care about your Christmas cards. I don't send Christmas cards. Don't send me a Christmas card. I don't need a Christmas card. If you ask me for my address around Christmas, I'm not even giving it to you. I'm good. I know what your family looks like. I don't need a Christmas card. I got Instagram. When we come back, we will share our favorite sports moments of the entire decade. Stay tuned. Jalen Jacoby, Holiday Special. Welcome back to the Jalen and Jacoby Holiday Special. Jalen, we're going to need you to take us behind the curtain during the holidays. Jalen, you tip more than anyone I've ever met in my whole entire life. And now is the tipping season, so this is where you really shine. We got a question from Twitter about tipping. We need you to take us behind the curtain. Christmas tipping. Who do you tip? How much? The barber, the mailman, the trash man? Jalen Rose tips everybody.
So
Jalen,
this is really important to me because we talk so much about family and friends. And think about it, Jacoby, for the first time in his 20-year career, even bought food for the Los Angeles staff this morning.
I regret it already.
That just lets everybody know the impact that you can have on others. So those people aren't just doing a service for you. I want to teach you guys something. They're your friends. You trusted them. They come into your residence. And also, they're like your staff. So if you want people to not only want to work hard, but feel good when they leave. So absolutely, you got to give the trash guy a couple of 20s or a 50 if you got one. You got to get a barber an extra 50 or 100 if you got it. You got to tip 35% if you're able to, if you're getting great service. That's what the holiday spirit is all about.
Jalen, don't forget, you're rich. That's all I have to say about that. Moving on. It is the end of not just the year, but of the decade. And as we usher in 2020 in the roaring 20s, let's take a look back. Jalen Rose, what is your favorite sports moment of the decade?
Favorite sports moment is easy. Being a Detroiter, a member of the Fab Five, an alum at the University of Michigan, someone that has a scholarship endowment, someone's a part of a team's legacy that got erased, banners taken down, to see Juwan Howard doing the Cabbage Patch in front of his team in 2019 after a strained relationship with the university is the greatest thing of all time, as far as I'm concerned.
My favorite sports moment of the decade is there's a lot of GOATs, but there's an underappreciated GOAT of the teens, and that is Simone Biles. Simone Biles is the GOAT of all gymnasts, maybe the GOAT of all athletes. When you take a look at what she's done, not just during the Olympics, 19 gold medals at the World Gymnastics Championships, most of all time, won the all-around title in 11 of 13 international competitions, first American woman to win 4 gold medals at a single Olympics. Simone Biles is a GOAT, and we need to respect her and appreciate her as such. Very quickly, as we finish the show, we usher in the new year. Jalen Rose, what is your New Year's resolution?
I just wish prosperity, health, happiness, love to all of my family, friends, and loved ones, and peace to everybody across the nation and in the world.
You know what? I echo that as well. I want to thank everyone for watching us and supporting us through this entire decade. Enjoy 2020. We'll be back. Happy holidays to all.